49er mind is
It's not just a thought process, but a way of life.
49er minded. 49er minded.
Can't shake it. It's 49er mind that I got. It's 49er shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco Super Bowl. Don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A red and gold session. About a red and gold obsession. With some well-controlled expressions. Let's talk about that win that we got. Who should have been in the slot? That's how they spin in the squad. All that back, all that crack, all that straight fumble sack. Or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the storyline, as long as the story aligns with a 49er mind.
49er minded.
It's not just a thought process,
49er minded.
but a way of life. For sure.
49er minded.
Way of life.
49er minded.
Well, how's everybody doing? Welcome to another edition of 49er Minded. I know it's been a long time. I did a lot of hibernating this off season. Let's just say that. But I am glad to be on here with a really good friend of mine, a person I love collabing with. From the Locker Room Rant, we have John V. How you doing?
What's up, fam? Good to see you, bro. Good to be here. Good to be live. It's good, man. Good to be back.
Yes, awesome. We had a lot of fun setting things up, and before we went live, when new equipment's ever here, John's got his new mic going, so hopefully you guys can savor John's voice a little bit better on these future podcasts. So definitely, if you're not subscribed to the Locker Room Rant, definitely go to the description box of this video. You'll see the link to his YouTube channel there. It's him and his good friends that he grew up with, Tony. He's got his other guy, I'm forgetting his name, the guy that everybody gets mad, Nick. The guy who pisses everybody off.
It pisses everybody off.
Famous for his dances that he does on there. Yeah, so he's a Cleveland Browns fan. Tony's a Buffalo Bills fan, and they have a lot of fun talking all kinds of sports on there. Anything going on that you want to talk about that's non-49er related? Anything on your chest anything interesting going on? Or
no, bro. It's been a long time since the Super Bowl, and it's there's not much more going on, bro. I mean, it was a long recovery, bro. It's time. It's time to get back to football. I've licked my wounds, man. It's still soft subject, but I'm past it, man. I'm looking forward to the season, bro. Not much going on, man. I mean, same grind for me, same old thing, just another year. And I think that it's time for the Niners to really do their thing. They're knocking on the door, and I hope they knock it down, bro. But no, not much more going on.
Yeah, let's see what's up to some people in the chat. Let's see who's here. Some people that we're here super early. So we got 49ers Throwback up in here. Says thanks for tuning in, Faithful. Good to see you, bro. Got Jimmy. What up, Jimmy? We got Red Jet. What's up, Red Jet? She's on here. Red Jet Shell goes live with Terradome. Definitely check her out on the Terradome YouTube channel. They're always talking Niners on there.
What's up, Red?
That's the Locker Room Rant right there. It's John V. We got Melissa. What up, Melissa? Good to see you. Melissa's always supporting on the channel.
Good to see you, fam.
Makes guest appearances on various channels. What up, Kenny? Kenny 49ers. Yo, John V and Bash. Eventually, Kenny and I are going to do some collaboration on this channel, I believe. So when that happens, I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you guys posted. Good to see Kenny on here. Kenny Culp. I believe he's the cousin of Brian Culp, if I'm not mistaken. I met Brian Culp last year at the New York Giants game, the Thursday night game that we had, I believe. And yeah, that was a fun game to be at. A lot of Niner fans from the YouTube community were all sitting in my section, and Jess set that up for the East Coast Red and Gold podcast. We had a ton of fun that day, and it was really good. I don't know who this is, but I'll say what's up to Kaniac. If he's a new member to the channel, welcome. We appreciate it. If you're any new members to the channel, you guys are silent viewers. If you like jumping in the chat saying hi, don't worry, I'll say what's up and I'll shout you out. Not a problem. Sometimes non-49er fans or viewers definitely seen plenty of those in the chat as well. And it's just funny as far as the 49ers are going. I mean, like, I had no excitement at all this offseason. I guess a lot of us were drained or deflated, or so. I wasn't in a state of depression, so to speak, but I was definitely just in my let me just take a break for the Niners for a bit mode and get back to regular life. And it's been pretty boring, I must say. It's been a very boring offseason. Not much was going on in basketball. This is the first time around where I didn't even watch the NBA Finals. maybe I watched 5 minutes total of the NBA Finals. So it is what it is. But if you're a Boston Celtics fan, then hats off to you. David McNiner is here. Says, "What's cracking, Bashar and John? Let's effing go Niners."
What's up, McNiner? Good to see you down there, buddy.
Yeah, he's one of the guys I met as well. Yeah, so been a pretty boring offseason, man. It just mini camps were going on, not really much happening there. The Brandon Ayuk contract issue is still a deal. It's a hold-in. He did show up to camp, but he's showing up and not participating. But at least, it's funny because when that Brandon Ayuk officially requests a trade headline came out, a lot of people were freaking out. And what was going through your mind when you saw that?
I was freaking out. I was freaking out because everybody knows I freak out. I overreact to almost everything that everybody shouldn't overreact about. But here we are. We're still freaking out. And the contracts around the league there's extensions and we're not making any progress. So it's uncomfortable for me. But I do like seeing him there. I know he's on the sidelines, chopping it up with John Lynch and Frank Gore and it just, I don't know, fam. I feel like I'm kind of upset with the organization because I feel like they've drug their feet, and like we need BA. Like there's no doubt about that. And I just feel like they don't do things accordingly. Like it's always to the beat of their own drum. And they put the fans and the players in certain circumstances that could have been avoided, right? Like BA wants to be out there with the fellas, but we just can't get past, the negotiations. So it's like shit or get off the pot, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Like get this man his money so that he can ramp up in camp with his teammates, because we know with Bosa that the ramp up period was crucial. And Bosa even commented saying that, yeah, man, that time hurts, and look now, Bosa is killing it. So I don't know, man. It worried me, and it still worries me because they're a stubborn organization, but they do get things done. So I won't take that away from them. But as a fan, I'm still uncomfortable. But we got our quarterback, so it's not as bad, but it's concerning. It's concerning.
And another contract extension did take place today for an NFL wide receiver, DJ Moore of the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
Did sign a 4-year, $110 million contract extension. So that's definitely an eye opener. So it's just another. I don't get it though, because it's like it doesn't. Okay, one thing I am thankful for, I'll tell you this: we all remember the dark years of the 49ers before Parag was handling any contracts of any sort. We were in salary cap hell. And when he shows up, for many years, the salary cap was not an issue. The only thing that has been an issue is just that we take forever. We're the league leader in taking God knows how long it may take to sign one of our players. And it's a domino effect. I mean, like, CMC got his extension, Juwan Jennings. Now Trent Williams wants his extension, but the main one, Ayuk, still hasn't happened. But hey, at least he is at camp. He is showing up. He's talking to John Lynch. You see him walking around with John Lynch, and you assume something would happen sooner since he's there. And it's like, I don't know what Parag's doing to not make it happen, but they have to find a way to make this happen some way or another. Maybe by the end of next week. That's my prediction. Perhaps. I don't know, man. I don't know if you have a prediction of when Ayuk's going to get signed, but I hate talking about this because I feel like it's been the same discussion, the same conversation. It's like Groundhog Day. Every day you wake up, it's the same crap. What is there new to talk about this damn Ayuk hold out or hold in now, so to speak?
It's all good. You know what? I mean, we've been listening to everybody else. It's our turn, bro. It's our turn to give our take. I mean, I'm tired of talking about. I'm tired of hearing about it, and God knows my family and friends are tired of hearing about it. But at the end of the day, like, this affects us, right? Like, it affects us. It affects me every day because I put everything into this team, bro. Like, all of my free time, all of my free thoughts are 49er related because I love it. Like, we are diehard fans, and I am a fanatic. And anybody that knows me knows that the Niners are pretty much everything to me outside of family. and work. So the Super Bowl was a life force of drain. It was a draining life force, right? Like I put everything into last season. We all did. I mean, we bought in 100% all chips in the middle of the table, fam. And it was gutting, man. It gutted me. I was crushed, but you know, the BA stuff, we're going to hear about it every day until it gets done, you know, and the Trent controversy too, you know, like we know Trent's going to get signed. We don't know when, but it'll get done. And it's important. It's important as fans not to overreact, but we still do because frankly, what else do we got? We got 65 Niner channels to follow. We've got 65 different interpretations. So it's a lot. It's a lot as a fan, man. And I'm here for it though. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I got you. Let me say what's up to some other people who dropped in the chat. Got some good buddies in here. We got Rod Cali 24/7 says, "What's up, Bashar?" And John Salute Phillips. Shout out to you, bro. Definitely check him out. He jumps on a few other channels every now and then. I forgot the name of the channel he jumps on with. They changed the name. He was with Gina. You check out him and Gina. They go live and they're friends over there. Sometimes he jumps on Terry Dome's channel. We got Tanya Eduardo Grande says, "What's up, fellas?" The new person that in the chat, welcome. Take it. Good to see new faces here. Papa J says, "I wonder if they're going to do the same with Brock next year." We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm not even worried about that.
Let's take it.
Yeah, let's knock out 2024 first. We got Tanya Sayao, NFL royalty up in here. Says, "Hi, Bashar and John V. Good to see you." I think I got everybody covered here. Yeah, good. It's been a while. It's been a minute. I think the last time I went on here was like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I can't remember. But yeah, it's always fun going on here. I just don't like. Shout out to all the people who go on all the time, all year long, and they literally going on twice a week when there's nothing going on. Like for me, I really, really have to be excited. Not necessarily excited, but when I feel like there's nothing new to talk about, my creative cells in my brain just do not work. They're just, my brain just gets stuck, brain freeze, whatever you call it, man. So it is what it is, man. But hey, I do love coming on here, talking Niners, seeing a lot of old faces in the chat. I always love coming on with John V. It is what it is. David McNiner says Brock's going to be the first $60 million man. Yeah, we'll see how much he gets paid next year, man. It's going to be interesting. I think eventually they will get the Ayuk thing done. It's for a trade to ever take place. Let's say, for all the fans, there are some Niner fans who want him traded actually. And, a team has to come up.
Are those honestly fans, bro?
A team has to come up with a huge contract to pay him. Then they have to come up with proper draft compensation for us to even administer a trade. So I don't know how, even if a trade situation was totally in the works, I don't know how they'd make it happen. Some people were throwing out the name Devontae Adams. Hey, I love Devontae Adams as a player. I really do. And that is the one player I'd probably make the exception for in a trade, but we'd still have to get good compensation in return because he's a lot older. He's a lot older than Brandon Ayuk. As good as he is, he's from Palo Alto, the Bay Area, not too far from Levi's, actually, over where Stanford is, Palo Alto. And I'd love to have him as a Niner, sure. But for now, it looks like looks like Ayuk should be on our team. We just don't know when the contract's going to be done. Shout out to Sparks. Sparks is here. I think it's another new faces. Hopefully that comes with the ring, David. Good to see you.
What's up, Sparks? Some of these cats are from my channel, man.
Yeah. That's what I forgot.
I forgot we co-stream, bro.
Yeah. Well, I remember we co-stream, but I forgot that on our little live stream here, it combines the chats. But that's cool, man. Either way, that's cool that both people are getting.
I love it.
Both channels are getting love. 49er Media is up in here. Says, "Hey, long time no see. Good to see you, bro."
What's up, media?
Yeah, I mean, I hate talking about contracts. I hate talking about the salary cap. It's not my forte. It totally isn't. It does not excite me, but it's obviously something that needed to be covered. Now, as far as we could stick with the wide receiver group. We have obviously Deebo Samuel's back in camp. Ricky Pearsall,
killing it.
Yeah, Ricky Pearsall was our first round draft pick. Niner fans were not happy with that pick. Now, I knew who he was going into the draft, but to say that I was excited about that pick right when the pick was made, no, because I wanted to tackle. For those who know me well, I was banging on the door for a tackle for God knows how long, or just more offensive linemen in the mix on the squad. But if you have anything to touch about Deebo Samuel, the wide receivers in camp, go right ahead. I mean, they finally put the pads on, so the past 2 days they've been hitting and catching passes and making plays. And yeah, say whatever you want to say about the wide receivers.
I mean, look, pads are huge, right? And camp is a big deal to ramp up your body, right? But as a fan, and I think a lot of fans get a little too, like, we stress every report, conflicting reports. Camp is camp, and we never know what they're trying to install and how they're trying to, what they're doing, right? Like, Kyle could want certain things, and if it comes across as, the offensive line sucks or Purdy's getting pressure, these things might be that way for that reason specifically. We don't know what they're trying. And sometimes, look at yesterday, right? For perfect example, yesterday, the offensive line was allegedly struggling, because they're missing, Trent, Burford's hand, right? So today, the offensive line was far better. So we don't know what they were trying to install yesterday. We don't know what they were trying to do. And today it was, like a 360-degree turnaround. So from my seat, I just want everybody healthy, knock on wood, God willing, everyone healthy, and rock out. As far as receivers go, Bash, I'm loving what I'm hearing out of Jennings. He and what is it, Renardo Green?
Renardo Green, yeah.
They're dogs out there. From what I understand, they're putting on a show. They're showing up and showing out, and I love to hear it. That is what I want to hear. And Debo, I heard Debo caught like a 60-yard bomb today from Purdy, clean as a whistle. Reported allegedly it was clean, beautiful, right out of his hand. It was a tutty, man. I love it. Like, these are the things that I want to hear, and we've been denied. And certain players throughout the last few seasons have been denied that coverage because it's always been quarterback controversy, right? Overshadowing all the stuff that we want to hear as fans. So it's really good and refreshing this year to hear all the battles that are going on. And, outside of the drama, which there will always be drama as a 49er fan, and it's just refreshing, fam, to really get to hear more about the players that are just doing their thing and grinding out, and like I said, we were denied this for a few seasons now, maybe three seasons now, the Jimmy G, the Trey Lance, all the quarterback controversies that surrounded this team overshadowed all the other camp battles. So I'm loving it. And I think it's going to get better from here. Can't wait for preseason, to be honest.
Yeah. Preseason will definitely give us a way better look, a way better idea, other than reading articles from God knows, like you said, 65 different sources of people who were at camp. And it's all and keep in mind, I've been reading notes, I've been watching people's reports, but a lot of, since I'm not there, a lot of it's a blur to me because there's so many conflicting reports. One guy says this guy that we brought into the next greatest thing since sliced bread. The other guy says, oh, this guy looks like ass and he sucks. And what the fuck were the 49ers doing drafting this guy? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, who am I going to believe? And I try not to play favorites. All these guys are looking to make a paycheck, talking Niners and, bringing out content for 49er faithful, for people who obviously cannot see what's going on. We don't, these aren't televised practices by any stretch of the imagination, but it is what it is. We're going to touch on a few more things. Just want to say what's up to some people that are here. John V's up, not John V. What's his name? Ty Austin's up in here. I know.
What's up, Ty?
One of the guys who I met last year actually at Levi's. He's a New York 49er fan, another New York Niner fan. This is Bash and JV, my guys. Yeah, that was really cool last year when I went to Levi's when the New York Giants were playing the Niners and we won. It was just cool to sit. We sat in this designated section with multiple content creators were there. Brandon was there. Jess, she's the one who organized it, and Brian Cole, Dave McNiner, Ty. If I'm leaving a name out, let me know. But it was just a really, really nice, fun experience. I'll definitely remember that for quite a long time. If I'm missing anybody else,
bro.
Oh yeah, you got to get to Levi's. If you go to Levi's, I'm definitely buying a ticket. We're buying tickets together if you go. All right. So,
yes.
All right, so Nathan Banks is up in here. I believe he's from the Locker Room Rant chat. I'll see what's up.
What's up, Nathan Banks?
Nathan's
How you
famous. Yeah, so I mean, like, we could talk about the receivers a little bit. You mentioned some of it. I mean, but I mentioned how unexcited I was for the Ricky Pearsall pick, right? Not because I didn't know who he was. I knew who he was. Again, I wanted an offensive lineman, but I didn't think he was a bad player. Me, like a lot of other Niner fans, did have the feeling that we may have reached for him a bit. But then word came out that, hey, supposedly some other, like he was going to be, we had like a late, basically that was almost like an early second round pick what we picked, because it was at the very end of the first round pretty much. And, you know, so the rumor had it that other teams were planning on taking him in round 2. And then who was the quarterback? I'm totally blank on this dude's name, the quarterback for the Houston Texans. And he was like, he was bugging out like the Niners made some amazing pick when they got this wide receiver. Like, oh, damn, that's not fair. That's not fair. And it's cheating that they got him. I was like, okay, wow, he thinks this highly of him. Okay. Well, you probably know the quarterback's name. I'm totally blanking on his name. I totally
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, CJ Stroud.
Yeah. CJ, that's my Buckeye, bro.
Yeah.
Buckeye. Shout out to CJ, my guy.
He's really good.
He's such a good dude, man. He speaks highly of Brock. You know, he respects Brock, and not for nothing, man. Shout out to D'Amico. I love that dude, man, and I wish him all the success. You know, as long as it's not against the Niners. But I love seeing him out there as a head coach, dude. He's dominating. He's doing his thing out there, family, and they got a lot of talent. CJ is going to be a problem in this league if you all haven't noticed already. My guy he's a star in the making, man. And I love him so much. It's awesome to see him succeed out there. So shout out to D'Amico and shout out to CJ, man. You guys are killing it. Pearsall, bro, to me, I'm still, a tackle would have been fantastic, but we don't value the trenches on that side of the ball, fam. It's
as much as we do for the D line, right?
Dude, I mean, listen, they defenses win championships. But not last one, but nonetheless, look, the Pearsall thing is still, for me, it's a toss-up. I wasn't thrilled. I'm still not thrilled. He's already suffered an injury, a nagging injury that he allegedly has been suffering since he was in Florida. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but what I did I'm not going to hang my hat on the kid just yet.
I want to see, this goes for a lot of players I haven't seen, by the way. I need to see what's going on in the games, but numerous reports from certain people who were at camp were saying that, so a few guys were saying that Pearsall almost looked like he was operating at half speed, but still finding ways to get open. So it looks like in the beginning, they were kind of saying he didn't look so fast, but they said he looks pretty fast now. He did run a 4.4 flat. They said that his greatest skill is that he just runs the whole route tree. So I'm definitely curious to see. Yeah,
very
definitely curious to see how he is once he is on the field in our system, and especially that they were saying, we're going to bring up Purdy in a minute. Purdy threw 4 interceptions today, guys. All right, love him or hate him, most people love him.
No.
To his credit, one of them bounced off of Jennings' hands towards the end of practice. But hey, the DBs were making great plays on the ball too. We have a lot of good things to say about our DBs in this camp, and your quarterbacks are going to have a bad day. No, and now if it's a quarterback competition though, and a lot of people on Twitter are saying, like, before camp started, like, oh, people better not report how many interceptions and how many incompletions are thrown among the quarterbacks. They better not post quarterback stats. And I understand if it's like a pure QB competition, you're going to want to see those stats. I'm getting there, to whoever's in the chat saying that. I'm getting there. It's like, it makes sense. I get it. And when you got 2 quarterbacks dueling and battling it out, but you have it's clearly established who our quarterback is, so that we're not going to worry about training camp stats. All right. So I wanted to pull up this guy in the chat really quick. He said something funny, if I can find it. It's Brandon. What's up, Brandon Ferrigno from the Forever Faithful podcast? Another guy that I got to meet. It's the second time I actually got to meet him. Last year when we were at the New York Giants game, he was there as well. He says, I'm live right now with Beto and Pete right now. He's double dipping. He's live, but he's on our chat, so I totally appreciate it. He thought I wasn't going to say hi to him. Rod Cali 24/7's here. What up, Rod? saying we
What up,
won't
Rod?
address the O-line, but we will continue. Yeah, I played O-line in high school. Trust me, man. If anybody wants O-line on this team, not because I am a bit biased about the position, but we all know how important it is too. So we'll see where we go with that. Just trying to catch up with what's going on in the chat. We got the Niner you love to hate. What up, Easy? Good to see you. Says, hey, bang, bang, my fellow good friend from the East Bay. I grew up in the East Bay back in my Pinole days, currently in Northern Cali. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty well established. Purdy's our quarterback. Despite his bad interceptions today, they said he had a lot of good throws in practice today. One of the practices with the pads. So it is what it is. I'd much rather see these guys have bad throws in practice than have bad throws in the games. And for the most part, we don't know what goes on in the majority of our practices with this team. Now, the training camp, sure, summer training camp, the beat writers are there for a lot of time. But in general, the majority of the practices for NFL teams are in public. So the beat writers aren't even there the majority of the time this team practices. But you're going to hear good and bad. That is what it is. So, I mean, but hats off to the DBs who made those great plays on Purdy's bad throws, and they got interceptions. So it is what it is. Just hopefully we only hear about a bad day like this for our quarterback. One practice out of 5 practices or whatever. I can live with that. It's no big
Throw
deal.
picks, throw as many picks as it takes to get it right. I don't care. Those layered throws are beautiful from Brock. I know he's made a few, some really nice throws. If the picks happen in camp, so be it. Fam, how many did he throw last season in camp? And I know that's tossed around casually, but you know what? It counts for something, right? Regardless of what, it counts for something. So if he's throwing picks, if I hear that from 76 content creators in one day, I don't care. It means absolutely nothing to me. I know that they're trying different things, and it's irrelevant right now. It's camp. We are working things out. We are trying things out. We have new pieces on the defense, and the defense sounds phenomenal. So family, if you have anything to hang your hat on, be excited because we have some new pieces and they sound awesome. I'm so excited for the defense this year, Bash. I swear to God, bro. The offense is the offense, but the defense last year, they were stagnant at times, and this year I think we have some studs, low key studs, and it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, Tanya says practice is a place to screw up and work on mistakes. These people who talk about players who make mistakes in practice probably never played sports. That's a good assessment on that one.
That's 100.
I'm not going to argue with that one. Yeah,
I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah. What up, Tommy Huxley? Good to see you here.
What's up, Tommy?
All-star guitarist. He's a great guitarist. Check him out. Check out his YouTube channel. It says F the Olympics. I don't want to get into this too much, but I definitely was not pleased, to say the least. I'm gonna give you the clean version of what I saw in that horrific opening ceremony. Just gonna leave it at that. And I thought,
but that's not gonna that is disgusting. But it is not. I will not let that diminish the hard work.
I feel bad for the athletes, though, for all the hard work.
I will not let it. I will
put in
support them. Bash from here.
I
watch all the events that I love to watch, and I will not let that ruin. I will not let that ruin or overshadow what they've worked their entire lives for. So that won't be discussed here, but it's not tolerated. But those athletes don't deserve it, man. They're phenomenal at what they do, and I'm excited, man. I'm so excited for them. I
totally love and respect all that from all the countries, not just the United States. I mean, they all put in a lot of very, very hard work. So, I mean, Olympics are a great competition. I believe they added a new, I don't think they had the event yet, but they have a new event called breakdancing. I think they may have another couple of new events for on though. Yeah, I'm curious to check out the highlights of the breakdancing competition.
Oh my God, bro, I didn't even know.
No, we had a little hip hop discussion before the show started too. I was doing my old man rant in my late 40s about how rap isn't good anymore and blah 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 blah, and
it sucks. It sucks so bad, bro. It sucks so bad.
Hey, respect to any artist that's working hard on their craft, but it just, I don't know, man.
Get your music out there so that we can be saved from this nonsense, fam. Get it out there. Get it out there.
Man, I was going to add something about Purdy. Oh, about the wide receiver room really quick, though. I want to say this, though. This is one news. This is one piece of it's a tidbit that is coming out of camp. I'm not saying it's a consensus or anything like that, but certain players have been saying it. And like, for example, when they like I was hearing about Brock Purdy having some struggles early on in camp here and there on some misses on the deep balls. Every now and then he's hitting certain deep balls on crossing patterns. But like, for example, Debo is not a great separator on deep routes. That's definitely something I've been hearing in camp. Hopefully he fixes it before the season starts. But Ayuk's a much better at running the whole route tree than Debo is. He's much more polished than Debo is at being a true receiver. And for Ayuk not being there in camp, it doesn't help Purdy's case to work on the deep balls during camp. But we all get that. But in general, though, I think this wide receiver camp is going to be the deepest wide receiver camp in Shanahan's history, especially when Ayuk's out there. Guys like Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing waiting in the wings. Brandon Jennings, Jawan Jennings, from what I hear, is having his best camp altogether as a 49er. So
JJ, bro.
I'm really excited to see what he can do in a real game this coming season. So like, I'm hearing Juszczyk saying the running back room's as strong as it's ever been. I don't know about that. Yeah, that's the thing I have to see. But this is what I do believe, and we're gonna transition onto this. Diablo Lenore, from what I hear, has been making a lot of really nice plays. And what he's saying is the defensive back room, the DB room, is much deeper than it has been since he's been there.
I mean, it better be, right? I mean, it better be. We went into last season scared, bruh. At least I did. I'm not going to speak for anybody else in the chat. But I went into last season really nervous, man. When Huff went out, I got nervous. But then, Jair Brown, come on, fam. Are we excited about Jair Brown this season? Battle tested in the Super Bowl. I mean, look, we always tiptoe around rookies, but my guy was incredible in the Super Bowl. I loved watching him, man. And he's going to be exciting to look forward to this season. Like, there's a lot to take away from last season, post Super Bowl loss. But right now, I'm stoked. The secondary is stronger than it's been. So let's just see, man. I'm still waiting for guys like Womack, who was an Ohio kid who went to Akron. I'm still kind of hoping to see a little bit more out of it. I know that he's been silent, but I'm looking forward to the secondary this season. We have a lot to look forward to, Bash. I mean, I would say Huff coming back is probably one of the things I look forward to the most outside of Dre Greenlaw. But Huff is, like, how he handles coming back from that injury, a consummate pro right there, man. I love you, buddy. Just come back strong, man. And the secondary has gotten better, and they need a leader like Huff, because Huff, according to Gibson, that's one of the reasons why he stuck around. That dude stuck around because of a very young Talanoa Hufanga, who, I mean, must have just, I don't know what he did, but they became close, and that dude stuck around another season because of Huff. So this young talented room, man, could really use Huff. So I'm looking forward to it, man. The secondary, man, bro, this has been a first show in a long time, and just it's doing me good because it's making me look forward to a lot of the things that brought me down, man. The Super Bowl crushed me, man. So talking Niners was like, it was sensitive, it was touchy, but I'm glad you had me on the show today, bro, because it's making me happy, and I'm getting pumped, getting really fucking pumped.
Okay, sounds good, because if you talked to me earlier today, you'd have thought I had COVID or something, because I had a really bad migraine. I didn't get much sleep the night before, and I was this close to telling you I was going to cancel everything because I didn't want to come on. I felt like garbage. And, after I ate something, I started feeling a little bit better, and lo and behold, we're here, and I feel like $1 million right now compared to what I felt like earlier. What up, Andy Land 27, my friend, buddy from high school. Good to see you, bro. Nice to see you on here. I appreciate all the comments in the chat. I throw your comments up on the screen. I'm not going to be able to read every comment there is. But there's one funny comment definitely stood out from Rod Cali. Says Niners will have all elite playmakers, but Brock will be running for his life. Oh, that's unfortunate. Now we did draft Dominic Pooney. We were talking about the DBs really quick, but I just wanted to touch on Dominic Pooney. I heard Dominic Pooney's having himself a good camp so far in the short 2 days where they've had the pads on. So hopefully, again, I'm not 100% sold on the guy. I wanted to tackle. I heard he played tackle in college, but we're having him at guard, and Burford's got some broken hand issue or whatever crap that he's dealing with. So who knows? He might have surgery. He might not. So it's kind of up in the air with that guy.
I hope he listen. I hope he does not need surgery. But I mean, if you do, let's get it done now, get it out of the way. I think Shanahan said something like at the last presser, by the time we had heard from him again, that we would know at least a timeline for Burford. So if anybody has it been reported whether or not he needs surgery? Because he needed to see one more doctor, Shanny said. I never heard anything else about it. So did anybody hear anything about it? Bash, did you ever hear anything about it?
Okay, so you heard, I don't know, we both kind of remember I told you how there's always conflicting reports coming out this time of year. Because what I heard was it sounded like he's going to have surgery, but they just don't know when. And okay. I think what you heard was they're not sure if they're even going to have a surgery at all. So
well, I'm just going off of what Shanahan said at that last presser. Okay, when we heard from him. What was that? Yesterday? No, it might have been yesterday. It might have been yesterday because I remember him saying, somebody asked, do you have a timeline on Burford yet? And he said, no, he needs to see one more doctor. And when we see the next presser, he should know more by that time. So I guess that's what I heard 100. That's as much as I've got. So if anybody has heard anything different, let me know, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I see a little conversation in the chat going on about Brandon Staley. Rod Cali says he's a good DC. Tanya is not too happy with the signing, I guess. But Diamondor Lenore actually said in the media today that Brandon Staley's a genius. So take it for all it's worth. We want to see results at the end of the day. We'll see. I'm willing to see what they could do. I'm not gonna, be too high or too low on anybody until I actually see what's going on.
His strengths may very well be as a DC, bro. His strength, he may be a better DC than he was a head coach. It's also where do you fit? Where do you fit? Coordinators that come here succeed. They succeed despite, our mishaps. They make a difference. And I kind of like it. I kind of like it because we heard last year that Wilkes just wasn't doing it for that room, right? Like, I don't know. He just wasn't doing it for them. Maybe Staley brings an entirely different, for the DBs, I take that back. I think the DBs liked Wilkes, but as far as the trenches, maybe they weren't too thrilled.
There was a disconnect for whatever reason. Bosa kind of said it early on in camp. It didn't make sense to me when Bosa said that early on in camp last year either. But there were some ups and downs with the defense last year. It was very, very clear. Hopefully, this is what bothers me so much about the D coordinators. It's like we have guys, and then they're good, and then then they're gone. So it's like, I don't know. I just want to, if this whole this Sorensen and Staley combo lasts for the next 5 years and we have great things come about and we win championships, awesome. If it's just a 1 year thing and we're back to the drawing board and we have to hire guys all over again, it's like, what the hell is going on? We had D'Amico, we had Robert Saleh, and I just wish one of those guys, it just sucks though, because whenever some coach shows that they're good on our squad, the whole league wants them, as if we won like 5 Super Bowls in a row. Everybody just loves to just snatch our coaches like no tomorrow, more so than other teams. It's the weirdest thing, and it's flattering as a Niner fan, I guess, in the Niner front office, like, hey, look, we make these good hires. Everybody wants our guys, but it's like you definitely want continuity at the same time too. Definitely want some consistency. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not too worried about the defense. The defense has been doing really good in camp from what I've been hearing so far. Yeah, the DBs, the DB room's pretty strong. We've been mentioning Lenore a lot, and Travis Ward. Who else? Renardo Green's coming up and having some good. He was our second round draft pick. He's been coming up the past few days. Isaac Yiadom, the free agent from the New Orleans Saints, I hear has been having some good practices. So the depth is definitely there on paper, and it looks like it may pan out on the field. Safety, you mentioned Hufanga. I mean, I was just down and out when I found out Hufanga had an injury last year, and that really pissed me off. But we were lucky enough to draft Jair Brown, and he stepped in and filled in nicely. We don't have Tyshawn Gibson anymore. You mentioned him earlier. That'd be nice to have him around. But we did draft Malik Mustafa. I heard Malik Mustafa has been looking really, really nice in camp. Everybody says Mustafa. I don't say Mustafa because I'm familiar with the real way to say the name. And when I hear Mustafa, it just sounds like really, really like somebody just, to me, it's the equivalent to somebody butchering the English language. It's like, so it's, I know Lion King, Mustafa, I know that, but at least he got his first name right. It is Malik. Anyways, he's doing a good job in camp. And, so we got guys like from last year, Darrell Luter Jr. Is he going to step up? A lot of people don't like Ambry Thomas. And you did mention a cornerback with a nickelback who may not make the team, though, from what people were saying. But I want him to step up.
Womack, the third.
He looks the part. A lot of good things were said about him early in camp his rookie year, remember? And then for whatever reason, you didn't hear much from him since. So let's DBs. They said it looks pretty deep. So just hopefully they continue that and they get better as things progress. Let's talk about the trenches though, because we did touch on the O-line a little bit, which is fine. We don't have to go on that too much. But the D-line, Nick Bosa is just Nick Bosa. I mean, what else can I say? Well, he's now Nick Bosa with a mustache, if that makes any sense. To the females in the chat, does that do anything for you, the Nick Bosa mustache, or you want him to shave it off? Does it look funny? Look stupid? I don't know. I've never been one to grow a proper stash. I'm usually clean shaven, so I just do whatever works for me.
I want to do it so bad.
Okay,
I want to do it so bad. I think I might try to do it someday. I might.
We got, hey, it's Nick in the chat. He says, I see locker room rant. Go
there
live.
We go. There we go.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
So here's a little context on Nick from the Kingdom Live podcast. He's a Chief fan, diehard. Congrats on your championship, my man. He and his brother and one of their best friends, they go live on Wednesday nights. They got a good thing going over there, man. And I like them, man. I actually love these guys. They're good dudes. They've been good to me. It's funny, right? Like we've lost twice to the Chiefs, and I made 3 really cool friends besides football. They're outside of football. They are 3 awesome dudes. Shout out to you guys, man. I appreciate you. I just want you to know, man, that you've made my life a living hell. But in the grand scheme of things, in the bigger picture, I made 3 good friends. So I look forward to also doing a show with those guys. I have to cash in on a bet that is long overdue. And my buddy Nick on the rant here, he's a big sissy, so he's not gonna do it because he claims that he didn't make that bet. But nonetheless, I got to cash in. I got to eat something hot, probably one of the hottest hot sauces on planet Earth. So I'll let you guys know on my channel when that comes, and you can watch me bleed out of my eyeballs and burn to death. So that should be exciting for everyone.
Wait, what are you supposed to eat exactly? I know it's supposed to be something hot, but do you have any idea what it's going to be?
It's going to be hot sauce. I got to dip something in the hottest sauce on planet Earth.
I did that once.
Burn the living shit out of myself. So it should be fun for everyone else and miserable for me. But a bet's a bet, and I will cash it in. I promise, Nick. I really will, man. We're going to get there.
All right. So make it. So the next time you guys go live on Locker Room Rant, this is just my suggestion. Just knock it out on that first episode back, so you get it out of the way.
That's it. That's what I'll do it. I'll do it on that episode. I will.
Yeah. Shout out to Nick. What I want to touch on about the D line was we all know Nick Bosa is Nick Bosa. I'm not sure if we got any responses from the female members of the chat about the mustache, whether it's a yay or nay. Maybe they don't care. No. But anyways, Nick Bosa's being Nick Bosa, which is great. I mean, hopefully, last year, hey man, he missed all that time and he wasn't the same guy early on when the season started. So hopefully we see an amazing Nick Bosa, leads the league in sacks and, just gets everybody else pressures, helps everybody else get pressures too whenever he's doubled.
Absolutely.
Leonard Floyd is up in the mix. He's been having a pretty good camp from the Buffalo Bills. Initially when we signed him, I thought, oh, well, he's an older guy. What's he going to bring to the table? Blah, 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 blah. He was pretty good on the Rams, but I just never thought of him as being great, just like good or whatever, right? So but I researched him a bit on the Bills. I didn't watch the Bills a whole lot last year, but I did some research on him after we signed him, and they said he had a pretty good season and he was still the same player. So sounds like early on in camp, he still is that same guy, despite the fact that he's a little up there in age. So that's good to hear. And for what I heard early in mini camps in terms of his get off is that he's what D Ford was when we initially had him. And so I definitely welcome that. And just as long as he stays healthy, I don't want to say the name D Ford because we all know how it was such a tease for him to look great early on and then get injured. So, but speaking of the pass rushers, I mean, after Bosa and Leonard Floyd, we don't really have much in terms of depth. We really, really don't. I mean, it is a bit more concerning than I thought it would be. Now, we did pick up Yetur Gross-Matos, who's almost more like a run-stopping DN, a guy who sets the edge. And I don't mind that pickup at all. Hopefully he does pick up some more pass rush type skills with us, though, from whatever he learns on camp, learns from Bosa and Floyd. And hopefully he does contribute in that facet as well. Last year, Robert Beal Jr. was a rookie, very undersized, very fast for, I believe he ran a 4.5 40 in the combine. And the jury's still out on him. They said he bulked up a bit. He got a bit bigger. Alex Barrett is just, I don't know, practice squad type guy. Drake Jackson is the eye opener. Now, this guy, I mean, geez, I put up something on my Facebook page. Some people, I'm sure a couple of people got mad at me. I said he's officially a bust. The report was that Drake Jackson's going to miss all of training camp. All right. So if you missed 12 games last year, what's I'm going to go backwards for a little bit. When Drake Jackson had those 3 sacks in the first game of the year, right? Mm-hmm. Like people are like, wow, Drake Jackson's arrived. 3 sacks against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look at Drake Jackson. Wow, he's really, really something now. You know what I mean? The excitement was there. And then a few weeks went by, and I jokingly said this to one of my friends. Probably a couple of my friends heard this. I don't know if I told you, but I was basically like, look, those 3 sacks that Drake Jackson got are going to be his only sacks of the season. And lo and behold, I was right, because not too long after that, they ruled him out for the season. And, I don't want to sound like I'm making fun of the guy, but, he did. It sucks. Injuries do suck. Injuries do happen. He had a patellar tendon knee surgery in January. I guess everybody assumed that he may be back and ready for camp, but it has not been the case. So I don't know. I hate to say, but that pick does not look good so far. He was a second rounder. There were some expectations for the guy coming out of USC. But his grandparents are Niner fans. And they were hyped up about him, but I don't know, man. I wish he'd pan out. I'd say guys like Robert Beal Jr. Definitely need to step up. And I don't know what you feel about these Ds right now that we have defensive ends. So you could get into the tackles too if you want.
Listen, Gross-Matos he's doing his thing over there on the run game. So that was a problem. As far as Drake Jackson, though, I'm more excited about Jordan Elliott. He came from Cleveland. From all accounts that I understand over there, he was arguably a starter for them. And they went with God, I can't remember his name. They went with somebody else. So Elliott became freed up. We scooped him up, and I'm from my friends that are Cleveland Browns fans. There are some pluses for having him here. The conversations were kind of minimal because they weren't big fans of Jordan Elliott as a Brown, but Nick says that he's actually quite well and will be impressed. So we'll just see what we get. As far as Drake, though, man, just cut him. Just get him out of here, man. He couldn't keep up with the 17-week season. He exhausted himself. I remember his rookie year. Then he got injured. Now he's got the patellar tendon thing, and they say that injury is highly susceptible of re-injury. So here we are. Like, I feel terrible, but just we got to cut the dead weight, man. We got to move on. Get him out, move off, and cut your losses. I don't want to keep him around anymore because every time I hear he's injured, I get pissed. I get pissed. But Jordan Elliott, I want to see more of him. I want to see how he does in camp. I didn't read any notes on him today. Was there anything on Jordan Elliott today?
I didn't see anything in the recent notes. Probably somebody else may have reported. I didn't hit up everything that was out there. E. Kim's in the house. What up, E. Kim? Good to see you. Says, hey, Bashar and John. Yeah, I remember him. He's always calling the Grant Cohn show. I'm not sure if he still does. It's been a while since I watched it, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, as far as the D line goes, in terms of the defensive tackles, I love what they did. I mean, Javon Hargrave sounds like he's primed and ready. He did a lot of hard work in the offseason, and hopefully he meets the expectations of what he was supposed to garner when it came to that contract of his when we signed him. So definitely excited to see what Javon Hargrave can bring to the table. Malik Collins, obviously from the Houston Texans, another run-stopping defensive tackle that you were mentioning. You obviously mentioned Jordan Elliott. And Javon Hargrave, just to clear things up, is more of a pass rusher than a run stopper. We still have Kevin Givens in the mix. Kalia Davis, I've definitely been excited to see what he can do with the full season under his belt. We barely played him last year when we finally activated him. He did one of the games, I forgot who was against, but he did get a sack. He barely played last year, and he got a sack in the game. So that was exciting to see when he got that. Ty McGill's still around. Ty McGill actually got into a fight today with our rookie center, I believe, the rookie guard from Jared Kingston from USC. Actually, we were playing him at guard. We played both center and guard at USC, but got into a bit of a scuffle today. Evan Anderson is a huge. I've always wanted a big run-stuffing D tackle on this team, like a huge space eater type of guy. And Evan Anderson is one of those big 6'4", 330-pound type guys. So definitely curious to see what he can do when it comes to the preseason. Shaquille Brown's another run stuffer type of guy. So it looks like we are a little bit more. I like the fact that there's more diversity on this offensive line when it comes to the D tackle position in terms of rotating people. Last year with just like Kinlaw and Armstead and Javon Hargrave and not much else, a little bit of Givens here and there. So you mentioned Jordan Elliott. Obviously, I didn't really watch him much last year, but I am definitely curious to see how he's going to look in the Niner uniform. But yeah,
he was huge. He was huge in 23. He was big time for them. I was just reading a small article on him. He appeared in all 17 games. He actually started 14 of those games. Elliott appeared in all 17 games for Cleveland. He finished his career best with 2.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. I don't know, man. Let's just see. He's one player that I'm excited to see. Let's see where this goes. Let's see where he goes, because that interior was kind of weak last season. So let's see where we go from here. It's still early camp. I see everybody in the chat. Let's see where we go from here, man. Because we know that interior needed something, but depth is still, I guess depth is still an issue. Who would you say our deepest at defense was in 2022, right? Would you say before that? I guess 2019 was extremely deep too, but I think most recently 2022 had the most depth on the defensive line. Would you say?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the D line. I keep mentioning run stuffing type D tackles. I think they're going to have to work a bit harder this year early on too, because we don't know when Greenlaw is going to come back. We didn't touch on linebackers yet. Fred Warner is going to be Fred Warner. We all know that. Oren Burks was terrible last year when Greenlaw got hurt in the Super Bowl. A blind man can tell you that. He's no longer on the squad. I was kind of hoping they'd draft a linebacker with the picks that we had, but we traded away some picks, I believe, and it is what it is. But we did draft D. Winters and Jalen Graham last year. I was hoping they'd get on the field and get meaningful reps last season, but they didn't. I like both of them a lot. I've heard some decent things here and there about those two in camp. We did draft Tatum Bethune, actually. He's a linebacker later in the draft that we did draft from Florida State. So hopefully those 3 guys find a way to develop and get themselves on the field. The Demetrius Flanagan-Folds is still there. So we got Curtis Robinson. I mean, these are kind of more like Demetrius Flanagan-Folds isn't bad, and he's all right. But guys like Ezekiel Turner and Curtis Robinson, if one of them doesn't make the team anymore, those guys are more practice squad guys / special team guys, so to speak. So I mean, I kind of wish we had one more. Oh, there's a linebacker that we do have in the mix. I forgot his name.
D. Winters, yeah.
No, Devondre Campbell.
Oh, Devondre Campbell.
Yeah, formerly from the Green Bay Packers. Heard some mixed reviews about him too. He was a all-pro player a couple years ago, or 2-3 years ago, I believe. So, I mean, he should have it in him to do something, be productive for us. But we'll see. I mean, if you want to touch on anything else,
I
in regards
remember
to linebackers,
Fred
go ahead.
Warner speaking really high on Winters. Remember? Do you remember?
I do like Winters.
I think-
Yeah,
I
I
think
liked
he
him a lot
spoke
before
highly
we
of him.
drafted him.
I think he said he had some of the best OTAs, or he had the best OTAs out of everyone. We'll see. I'm looking forward to D Winters. I think. I'm trying to think. Is he? I'm excited about Floyd. I'm sorry, I didn't see your comment there. 10.5 sacks is good for me. Let's see what happens. I like that dude. High motor.
Yeah.
You know, and probably
And he's
far
playing
better on the
opposite of
edge.
Bosa now. He's playing opposite of Bosa now. So he didn't have that before.
Yeah. What's his face? Former Buckeye. He was a disappointment for me. I was pissed. Say his name.
Buckeye. Help us out in the chat, guys.
He came from Washington. What the hell is his name, man? Why am I forgetting?
Oh, I'm forgetting. His
They were
name, too.
teammates, bro. They were teammates. Why is he slipping? 'Cause
Chase
he didn't
Young,
do
Chase
shit.
Young,
Chase
Chase
Young.
Young.
Chase Young. Jesus Christ. Yes. Chase
Yeah,
Young. man.
how up, dude? I texted you that day when we got him. I was like,
So disappointed.
I was
bro.
like, I bet you're pumped up about this move. And what you texted me in response was a picture of a Chase Young jersey hanging up in your closet from Ohio State.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
glazing, dude. There's an episode on your channel that nobody should ever go back and watch because I was so excited. And now look where it got us, right? It got us nothing. Zero.
Yeah,
He was
in the
a
beginning,
huge-
remember
he shit the bed, and
it's
it
going to be
pissed
a
me off.
race. It's going to be a race to the quarterback and all that. And we definitely saw the glimpses. The glimpses were there. So it is what it is. Shout out to Cynthia. She's in the chat. She says, "Hey, stopping by to hit that like, friend. Appreciate you. Good to see you."
What's up,
yeah.
Cynthia? Good to see you, fam. Oh man,
Yeah.
that was
you know
huge
what?
for me,
And-
bro.
And we
then
saw the
what a
glimpses. We saw the glimpses, though, right? It was
Yeah.
like he's physically capable of being possibly better than Bosa. He has the tools, but for whatever reason, was he jogging in on that one play?
Bro
against the
was
Detroit
just
Lions?
dragging ass, bro. He was just slacking, bro. And that's where it got disappointing. He was slacking. And then he showed up in the Super Bowl. He turns it on like, bro, you were humiliated on 65 Niner channels. And a few I think somebody called him out at a presser. So, look, I take full responsibility for making him more than he was, man. But it sounded great. It was exciting for a minute. Those flashes were there. But he was a huge disappointment. So, eat shit. Hope you step on Legos, whatever. Do whatever it takes.
Shout out to Jimmy. He's up in the chat. Good to see you.
What's
Jimmy.
up, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, there was some training camp note that that definitely skipped on really quick. If I can just pull it up in just a second. Oh, here we go. Drum roll, please.
I don't
Get ready
have
for this
one.
Okay, that's what Raj does when he's on Instagram. He always does that little drum roll thing.
Yeah.
All right. Jake Moody, 18 for 19 in training camp so far, guys. Just let you know. Breaking news.
Don't hold your breath. And if you blink, you'll miss a miracle.
That's
just-
our fabulous kicker, our rookie last year. So yeah, I mean, we've covered a lot. If there's anything that we missed, then let us know. But here we go. I knew I missed something. We were talking about wide receivers earlier. We didn't cover the running backs, but we all know who CMC is. Unless you want to touch on that really quick before we go. But Tariq Owens, the son of Terrell Owens, did catch a would-be deep touchdown pass from, I believe, Brandon
Dobbs.
Allen. Oh, from
I think it was
Dobbs.
Dobbs.
Oh, Dobbs is finally
It
coming
might
around.
have it might have been Dobbs. Don't take me. Don't
Dobbs
take me
is
for
finally
Dobbs. I don't
coming
know.
around. He got trashed like every week from mini camps till now, and then he's finally coming up. Like, dude, this guy must be a gamer because he looked so good in the games last year, and then we pick him up
know.
and he's just so ass in
Bro,
practice.
that was
So we'll see.
that's
We'll see
another
what's
dude.
up with him. We'll see what's up with
I
him.
was talking him up last season, bro, and then of course he becomes a Niner and he can't figure it out, which that's fine. Like adapt to the system. I understand it. It's tough. It's hard. We know that it's hard. But he is catching on to those nuances. So hopefully, the chemistry is there, man, because behind Brock, man, I don't know, fam. Like, I'm nervous. Brandon Allen sucks. I don't give a damn what anybody says. He sucks. Yeah. Who's this dude? Who's this dude Love they brought in? I don't even know. I don't even know a damn thing about him.
I don't even know anything about Tanner Mordecai. Now, I don't know if you watched his college clips. And
I saw the clips.
That's a sleeper type signing, in my opinion.
I've heard.
Yeah.
If you listen to Larry, he thinks he's the next thing since, corduroy. So
he's almost like a
Mordecai.
He's almost like a poor man's version of a Brock Purdy coming out. He's got all this amazing scrambling ability. He's got the arm, and I don't know if he can put it together in the Shanahan offense. It'd be cool to see him as a backup, though. But if it was him and Dobbs, I hope he beats out Brandon Allen. But he finally actually got some reps today. They said the practice was finally long enough for Tanner Mordecai to get some reps. Brandon Allen obviously has the seniority and more experience in the offense, so I guess it made more sense for him to get reps over him. But we'll see. It's still early in camp. We'll see if that guy can make any waves. If you want, we can close up shop pretty quick. But if you want to touch on running backs really, really quick, you can. I mean, we all know CMC's the man, but he's got Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason behind him.
What's there to say? We've run CMC into the ground last season. He had a phenomenal season, and I will not take anything from him for that. Like, I don't discredit any of that. But what's there to say? You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a healthy Elijah Mitchell sitting there during the Super Bowl. We didn't touch him. Jordan Mason seems to have come along quite a bit. If you're listening to any of the reports, I believe he had a good day today. And I think he might've had a touchdown today as well. But what's there to say? We overuse CMC, and this year Shanahan's saying that we're going to use him less and kind of protect him from himself and yada, 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 yada. If you want to touch on running backs, let's go for it. But for now, all we know is we have a deep running back room, but what are we going to do? We're going to see the CMC show again. I don't want this kid. I don't want to say anything to jinx him, so I'm not. I just hope that we utilize our backs more.
Yeah.
Period.
Split up, diversify the carries a bit. Why not? We did draft the running back. I'm a bit bummed out about this Isaac Guerrero. I'm not sure when he's coming back. He got a bit of an injury one of the first practices. Incredible height, size, speed, all that. Weight, speed, you name it. He's got it. 240 pounds, I believe, ran like a 4.35 40 or something crazy like that. Or
ball security.
Yeah, we rarely get those high weight speed guys, and I just love to see what Isaac Guerrero would look like in a Niner uniform.
Oh, Guerrero, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if we can get creative with him some way somehow. He's not the quickest guy. He's not that quick. He's more of a straight ahead type of guy. Be very interesting to see that. But yeah, running backs, I'm not too worried about them. Like I mentioned earlier, Kyle Juszczyk said this is the deepest running back room he's seen. So it sounds like some people say Elijah Mitchell looks like the number 2. Some people say Jordan Mason looks like number 2. It's almost like that. Like I said earlier, I mentioned all this earlier, that you see conflicting reports from various writers who have been at camp. You don't know which side to lean on at the end of the day. So somebody said that the world needs John V rants. I love John V rants. When I see John V rants, nobody's laughing more and enjoying them more than myself. I think they're hilarious. Not laughing at you, but more like laughing with you.
Oh, laugh at me all you
I'm not laughing at your pain or anything. Like,
laugh it out.
People. I've been known to go on my rants on this channel. I've dropped countless F-bombs. I've dropped every curse word on the planet. I tried to keep it as clean as possible today. And people laugh hysterically when I go on those rants.
I love it. I love when you go on rants. I love it.
You love it when I suffer, and I love it when you suffer. So.
That's fine. And listen, if you guys want those rants, follow me, subscribe to the channel, do what you will. I'll be back with Bash. This is my guy. And when the season starts, God willing, I have nothing to rant about. But if there is something to rant about, I will lose it. I normally do. And I'm probably not any healthier for it, but I will say this. Elijah Mitchell was getting 6+ yards a carry. Okay. And when healthy, that boy can secure the ball. If he's still a Niner by week 1, if he makes the 53, I will be surprised. At least I hope so. I may be one of the very few guys, Bash, in this fan base that still believes that Elijah Mitchell is the guy for, the backup role. I believe in the kid. Outside of his injuries, I know they came at, obviously at a cost, but I still believe that if he's not the bell cow and he stays reasonably healthy, utilize him, use him, because Mason had some ball security issues, and I get it. That was part of his growth, but we just need to use the backs on this team. If we have a deep room, we can be absolutely nasty with the run game. If everyone is, we don't even have to have, we can spread the ball around, bro. It doesn't have to be CMC, every single carry. I know the guy wants to come off the sideline like a bat out of hell, but frankly, we need to keep him healthy. So I hope that we just utilize the backs, period. Kyle says we will. Now, like Rod said, we got to hold him accountable. I want to see it. Don't talk that shit. Show me. Talk is cheap. Show me. That's it.
You heard it from the horse's mouth. There you go. I want to touch on this really quick. We're going to get going pretty soon. We got two more things to touch on. In regards to Brock Purdy having a really, really bad day in practice, I get that. Those bad practices are going to happen. For the most part, though, he's been stacking good days on top of good days. So I can live with one bad practice among multiple good practices, and we all know what he can do in games. But this is what I wanted to touch on with Brock. He said that Tom Brady, he's basically aiming for the Tom Brady type of dominance. That the dominant player that Tom Brady was in his career. Brock Purdy told the media that he feels like he can get to that level of play with the 49ers. So it goes to show you that he's a bit more confident now. He's probably more comfortable in the system. It's the first full offseason that he's dedicated to working on his craft, where he wasn't overcoming an injury. Word on the street is that, he's, the mini Mick Bosa more so than ever, with his quad development or whatever, his big legs. They said he put on 5 pounds. He said that he put on 5 pounds of quality weight where he feels good, which is fine. I think should be okay. So hopefully we do see a more dominant version of Brock Purdy. We'll all welcome that as 49er fans. That'll be a whole lot of fun to see. And there was so we pretty much covered everything 49er wise. There was one question for you, John V, in the chat from Melissa. It says, John V, when you're debuting the Ty Alston tees?
I was thinking about it on my show, my first show back, which should probably be sometime during either the preseason or just shortly after. I would love to debut them, man. If anybody is looking for a nice t-shirt, quality prices, the Stay Faithful, I don't know I don't have the link. Izzy, I'm sure you got that link somewhere. But Ty Alston, man, good dude. And a hell of a dude, man. He's he sent me some shirts. I absolutely love him, man. He has this one Brock shirt, which, give me a second. I'm gonna show you guys this Brock shirt. It's fire. This is fire.
I think this is the shirt that I saw earlier, if I'm not mistaken. We're talking t-shirts here, ladies and gentlemen. I did have a 49er minded t-shirt worn on here. I only wore it once, but this is my logo. Let's see. Let's check it out.
You see this shirt right here? The 13 doubles as the B for Brock, right? And it is dope. You see that, folks? This is a phenomenal t-shirt. If you like this shirt, get a hold of one of my guy over there, Ty Alston. He will hook you up. He has fast shipping, great prices. And there's a bunch of others, but I kept this one close just because I want to wear it soon. But nonetheless, while we're on that Purdy thing, let's talk a little bit about that little piece that he said about Tom. Did you see he was a little salty? And my guy, that is my mother effing quarterback, bro. This dude speaks his mind, and he believes his confidence is through the roof, and I absolutely love it. It's actually contagious because he said something like, you went out there, you were trying to get Brock. You were trying to get Tom Brady last season. Now I can't get this verbatim, so my memory is shit. So just hang in with me. He said something like, you guys, something when asked about how he felt about Shanahan reaching out to Tom Brady, he was thinking like, I beat that guy. And he was basically saying, like, I can be that guy. Like, I believe that I'm that guy. I beat that guy. Something along those lines. I'm butchering it, and it's coming out like shit. So the relevancy is that Brock was basically a bit, pissed off that you were trying to go out there after he led you to the NFC Championship game. He felt as though, you were trying to, replace him for an older Tom Brady after he showed you what he could do in a very small sample size. I love the comment because you know what? Brock's not a yes man. And I like this dude. He's confident that he is this dude. He wants to be better than last season. He knows what he has to do this season to be better than last season. That remark, that comment, if you can find it, Bash, and you can read it verbatim, it's awesome. It made me even more confident in Brock. And I'm already like sold. Like I have no reserve feelings on Brock. But this dude comes out any chance he gets to tell you exactly who he is, who he wants to be. Did he put on size? Yes. Was he rehabbing through November? Yes. I didn't know that. Nobody knew that. We just were shocked that this dude's coming after a UCL injury, post-surgery, he came back in camp early. Like, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. He was salty that you were trying to bring Tom Brady into the building, and he told everybody about it. He said it. Like, he knows that this system is good for him. He fits it. He gives Kyle his flowers, but at the end of the day, he took offense to that. And so he fucking should. I don't want Tom Brady here. Do you honestly believe that Tom Brady and Kyle Shanahan can coexist on the sidelines? Come on, fam.
No.
That's an ego bomb waiting to go off.
Netflix would make, how they made the Netflix wide receiver receiver thing. They would make a whole show dedicated to that or whatever, some movie about it or whatever. I don't know. I'm reading the article while you were talking. I was trying to find this article that you were talking about with Purdy. I found one, and they did mention that the Niners were looking to sign Purdy, but I don't see Purdy's response.
Let me
to that,
see.
you
know what? I got it.
Maybe you can find it. You got to pull. If you got to pull up, go ahead and read it off.
Yeah, it's here. It's here.
And for those that wanted the Ty Olsen t-shirts, I did put it in the chat. I put the link to his Twitter account in the chat. So if you guys want to just click on it or whatever, go ahead and check out Ty Olsen. Show him some love. I think he might be on Instagram too. If you don't have Twitter or X as they call it. Go ahead. Did you find it?
I'm looking.
Okay. I'll catch up with the chats whenever you're ready. Let me know. There's a lot of what was it? Rod was talking about Kyle Shanahan and about accountability or whatever. Kyle won't hold himself accountable. He thinks he's him. He's got that cockiness to him. Now, cockiness and confidence are good. I get it. But, I definitely want him to be a bit more humble. I'm sure a lot of 49ers, I'm saying it very lightly, obviously, giving the PG version of it. But I don't, there are Niner fans that hate Kyle Shanahan. I'm not one of them, but I do like him. But I still think he's capable of winning it all, winning the big one. Some people don't think he is. Obviously, it helps to have a quarterback that wants to reach a level of dominance. It helps having the roster that you have. And we've had the roster. We just got to piece it all together, man.
I found it.
You did find it? Okay. There you go. Go ahead, John. Take it away.
So Brock Purdy on what went through his head when Kyle Shanahan told him he was trying to sign Tom Brady while he was recovering from the UCL surgery. When he said Tom Brady, I'm like, that's cool for your sake as a head coach and for a team to bring the best of all time. But a little bit of me was like, I just proven I beat this guy the past year and that I'm good enough to take our team to the NFC Championship game. So there was a little bit of me where I was like, I can absolutely be the guy for this organization. So why not me? That was Tim Kawakami on his podcast. So look, I mean, Brock took offense to that. He took offense to that. I mean, didn't like it. And, look at what he did last season. I don't even have anything. I'm not even mad at the guy. Like, I like that he got salty. And I like that he's putting it out there. I love it, actually. The dude speaks his mind. And I think that's what I think that's what these guys see in him too, Bash. We hear them. We heard in those 7 games that he played, he was like, he looked at Trent Williams and he's like, yo, you paying attention, bro? like this is great. Like, this is what I want. I want a leader, bro. And they say he's a great leader. So for him to be a little bit offended that we were out there looking at Tom Brady, I think it's great. And I didn't even want Tom Brady. The egos would clash. It would never work. Never. So I don't even give a shit. That's my QB1, bro. And I love it. How did you feel about Juice and his podcast interview with KMDR?
I didn't watch the Juice one. I didn't watch it, to be honest with you, but yeah, I mean, we all think as Niner fans, since it's no longer an issue before, it's like what was put away in the past, that like we all forgot that we even, thought of Tom Brady as an option after we discovered that Brock Purdy can, ball. Obviously he had the injury, but we get it. I mean, hey, I was one of those who doubted Brock because Brock had that injury despite having a great season, but I didn't know he was going to be the same player, let alone be a better player. So it is what it is, man. Brock silenced a lot of doubters, but yeah, he still has doubters in this 49er fan base of all things. I think he has more doubters in the 49er fan base than outside of the 49er fan base, to be honest with you, for whatever reason it may be.
That's a fact.
Yeah. And Rod, I didn't have you in mind when I said people, there are some Niner fans say, hey, Kyle, you wearing what I was thinking of. There was a friend of mine who I was thinking of, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird that Brock still has to win certain people over, but it is what it is. And actually, you know what? When they had those top 10 quarterback rankings, right? Brock was left out of the mix, right? Now, for me, I say Brock Purdy's definitely top 10, 7, 8. I don't know, whatever number you want to slap on there, go ahead. I don't care what number it is, but when I see top 10, when I see him, I definitely see top 10. That's fine. But we could go on for days and days about Purdy and everything else, man. We've been on here for an hour and 16 minutes.
Are you really a fan if you aren't sold? He was an MVP candidate last season. I'm not going to say anymore. The kid for passes over 20 plus yards, Brock was 55%. Do you know where everyone else was? There was a large gap between, I think Mahomes was at 28%.
Yeah. Mahomes didn't have a spectacular season last year. Right. I mean, obviously he won the Super Bowl. Yeah.
I'm saying Brock was ahead of the rest in these.
Well, what the Purdy doubters were saying is, oh, that's all run after the catch. Those were all run after the catch throws. It's like
he was one of the most accurate quarterbacks last season.
Brock could have thrown for like 500 yards in back-to-back games, and they'd still find a way and say it's all the weapons and it's all the coaching or whatever. I don't even care. I don't. Those people are irrelevant to me. Serious, yeah, I don't either. I really
I can't even categorize you as a fan if you're shitting on Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
we've got a quarterback now, and you still find things.
And get it. He had a bad game. He had a terrible game against the Baltimore Ravens. I get it. I understand. And those who were arguing all year that he wasn't good, and even though he was tearing shit up, looked at that game like as validation, like, oh, see, Brock's not the guy. We need to draft a quarterback. Literally, when the season was over, there were some Niner fans typing up on some boards, oh, which quarterback should we draft in the first round? It's like, are you guys smoking crack, dude?
Yes. They're smoking it, and they're smoking it twice on Sunday. They're not fans. You can't be if you're constantly looking over your shoulder for the next guy. Like, Brock has earned this position, and if you're not invested, like, I feel sorry for you. I truly do.
I 100% agree with you, John. It's been great having you on here. It's been great, just communicating with people in the chat, and just the back and forth between certain people in the chat. It's a great thing to talk Niners again, to feel some sort of excitement. Like I told you guys earlier, like I've been telling people when I jump on other people's podcasts, I'm still not excited about this season, but little by little, I'll get there. When the first preseason game comes around, I'll definitely be hyped up about it. I'll probably most likely do a postseason postseason show once that game's over. And yeah, been awesome having you on. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, man. I just want to shout you out, brother. Thanks for having me. Thank you for everyone that is subscribed to the Locker Room Rant. I appreciate you guys coming by and joining this collaboration with Bash and I. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry that we haven't had content in forever, but life is busy, and I was pissed. But nonetheless, shout out Bash. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe to Bashar if you're not. Like and subscribe here at the Locker Room Rant if you can. And brother, always a pleasure, my man. I appreciate you.
Sir, I appreciate you too, man. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I know it was a last minute announcement for me to go live. I think I announced it yesterday, and I was going to cancel, actually. I was feeling like garbage. I felt horrible. I felt worse, actually. I had COVID a couple weeks ago, and I actually felt worse than some of the days when I had COVID. I just had a really bad migraine, and it's what it is. I feel like $1 million right now. I feel great. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, Kenny says he just subbed. There you go. Appreciate it, man. Whoever hasn't subbed yet and whoever watches me, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button on the Locker Room Rant YouTube channel. Hit it up in the description box. Again, guys, thank you very much. Keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded.
Peace, fam.
Let's
Take
go,
care.
Niners.
Later.
Hit you up. This is the old intro. We're going to make it the outro. Let's
I love
go.
it.
Come on, 49er Fingers. Let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We got to do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We got to get that brick by brick real quick.
49er mind.
Yeah. Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.